Hey everybody, welcome. We're back today with another video for Galveston County. It is going to be a boating while intoxicated video. We just had the 4th of July. There's a lot of boating that happens on the 4th of July. And sometimes when people drink alcohol, get behind the helm of a boat, they will be pulled over by some type of police authority, either a port authority or otherwise. And then maybe even a Texas game warden, they can pull you over to do what's called a boater safety check. And they don't need probable cause. They don't need a reason to pull you over. They can just stop you, see if you smell like alcohol, and bam, you may end up with a boating while intoxicated charge in the county court at Galveston. If it's your third or more charge, it could be a felony charge. Um, Boating while intoxicated is under 49.06 of the Texas Penal Code, and it says that a person commits an offense if the person is intoxicated while operating a watercraft. And a watercraft is something with greater than a 50cc motor. So if you just have a little electric motor John boat, it may not count as a watercraft for this purpose. There's a special definition there. And then it says, except as provided by subsection 49.09, which is the repeat offender statutes for DWI, flying while intoxicated and boating while intoxicated. This is a Class B misdemeanor with a minimum term of confinement of 72 hours, which is 3 days. Now, do all of our clients go to jail for 3 days if they're convicted? No, they don't. There's ways around that. For time credit and things like that, they can be avoided entirely if you don't have a final conviction, if you have a probation, or obviously if the case gets dismissed, you're not going to end up in jail for 72 hours. One of the key things here that people don't understand about boating while intoxicated is that you can get a driver's license for a car. That driver's license can be suspended just because of a boating while intoxicated case. Maybe they don't have anything to do with each other. Maybe you're not the person who put the boat in the water. You're not the person who was going to get it towed, when you go to the ramp or whatever and you pull it out of the water. Maybe you're not going to do that. You weren't going to drive at all. Well, if you're boating while intoxicated, the same rules for your driver's license suspension are going to apply. And those rules include if you refuse to give a breath sample or a blood sample, they are going to initiate what's called an administrative license revocation. Now, we can request an ALR hearing. That is a special hearing to avoid a driver's license suspension, where we can subpoena the police officer or the game warden or whoever it was that arrested you for boating while intoxicated, force them to come into court to testify, and we can get an idea of what we think they're going to say in a future case when we fight the regular case in county court. Or if we can show that there was insufficient reason for the arrest, then there's not going to be a license suspension, even if the officer does appear at the hearing. But more recently, ever since COVID, basically, these hearings are done on Zoom, and officers are very reluctant to appear. They even though it's easier, I feel like, to appear, they don't appear as much at these hearings. So I think you're likely to have a good chance of retaining your driver's license. What happens if you do lose your driver's license? It's suspended because there was a refusal to give a breath or a blood sample. What do we do then? Well, we get you an occupational driver's license. It's a special type of license that even though you have a suspension for DWI, or what we call the ALR suspension, you can continue to drive for work, for school, getting groceries, all the necessities. That's what an occupational license is for. And so most of our clients who have a DWI first, I would say almost 100%, we're going to be able to keep you driving, keep you doing your regular course of life while we are fighting that BWI or DWI in the courts. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We will see you next time. As always, these are for educational purposes. If you need help from a lawyer, give a lawyer a call immediately. Thanks so much.